All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Angela Hood. I'm the founder and CEO of This Way Global, and you're joining us for the AI Trust Guild podcast. So I have two very good friends of mine that I've built over the last couple of years. So Trevor and Rusty both are with IBM, but, and this is a huge but, I always feel like they're equally with TDSynnex, which is our VAD, which stands for Value Added Distributor. We'll explain that in a minute. But I want first for Trevor to start. I want you to explain to me what your job is and how did you get here, because you have a weird job. And then I want it to roll right to Rusty. And I want you to explain the same thing. And I've been wanting to ask all this for a couple of years, but I knew we would have this moment on the podcast. So I wanted to share it with everyone. So I don't know the answer to this question. So over to you, Trevor.
Well, Angela, first, thanks for having Rusty and I on. It's absolutely awesome to be here, and you and This Way Global are great partners. Really tough first question. How did you get here?
Yeah.
I feel like that's like an existential question. I'll take my career path aspect to that one. No, so look, I lead the TDSynnex and IBM relationship for IBM in North America. TDSynnex, for the folks that don't know or may not be as intimate with distribution, TDSynnex is the world's largest technology distributor. We prefer to call them, and they prefer to call themselves, a solutions aggregator. The notion of distribution of the past, I can say with firsthand experience, is no longer true today. Our distributors are truly orchestrating and amalgamating solutions that are cross vendor, because our partners and our clients are mosaics of technology, right? Our clients don't just buy one thing from one company. I'm actually very pleased to be in the ecosystem side of our business that supports that mosaic, right? So, TDSynnex, they carry multiple vendors. They do business with thousands of partners that do business with our clients. So being accountable for the IBM business, I think we can talk numbers here. It's well over $1 billion in North America. It's every brand that we co-sell together through our partner ecosystem. And I know we're going to talk about this in the future, but both companies are making tremendous investments as it relates to AI and generative AI. And our companies are, in terms of like, what do I do every day, right? I mean, in this chair, you're not closing deals with end user clients, but you're working with a very large strategic entity. TD is actually our largest global partner, to ensure that both companies are completely aligned in our go-to-market strategy, that we're making the right investments, that we've got the right teams on the ground, and that we're doing all the right things to make sure that this, $1 billion franchise is optimized. It's a very interesting part of the technology landscape. Prior to this, I ran IBM's got a financing unit called IBM Financing. I led that for a country. Had a country P&L. After that, I led a client market for IBM, so integrating the IBM company in front of all of our clients for everything that we sold at the time. And back then, we had a much more diverse business than we have today. So back then, we had consulting, we had outsourcing, software, systems. Okay. As many people know, we are hyper focused on hybrid cloud and AI, right? That's who IBM is today. And I think those prior experiences have really helped help us shape our relationship with TDSynnex going forward.
So every day you're having to make sure that this partnership is resourced correctly to deliver the revenue that both TDSynnex and IBM both want to have come in. Is that true?
That's absolutely part of it.
Yeah. Okay. It's a bit of a task. Okay. So Rusty, I guess you're doing more than sitting around and, having coffees and, just hanging out with people.
Playing my piano here in the background.
Right, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
I can attest to that. It's not a performance review, but I can attest to that. for sure.
All right. So Rusty's doing something. So what is it that you're doing, Rusty? Very nice.
Oh, goodness. So I am the software sales lead. So Trevor has kind of the entire umbrella. I have the software piece under that umbrella. That's
Got
the
it.
easiest,
Okay.
easiest way I can explain it. And, honestly, my role, the way I see my role is just being an advocate in every direction I can, right? I'm an advocate for TDSynnex to IBM. I'm an advocate for IBM to TDSynnex, and of course, all the partners. I mean, I think that this job, and I am so thankful to have ended up in this job or landed in this job, because it is the most fun, the most stressful, which sometimes makes it fun, and ever changing, unlike any other role I've ever had, which is, I get to work with you guys. I get to go promote you back to IBM. I get to bring you into TDSynnex and vice versa. So it's just this constant ebb and flow of what's going on. And that to me is kind of the strategic goal. How do I help you guys sell more IBM software, right? And then tactically, there's a lot of stuff going on that Trevor and I both get involved in, right? When it comes down to deals, when it comes down to dealing with, bigger and bolder strategic moves, right? You ultimately have to get into the details somewhere, even down to the level of how our systems work with each other, how we're moving these transactions between all of our companies.
So one of the things I find, sorry, I didn't mean
No, go ahead.
Well, just one of the things I find really interesting, and correct me if I don't have these numbers right, but is that typically partners deliver a roughly 40% of the revenue, but IBM is changing this and wants it to be 80% of the revenue. Is that, do I have the number?
You are 100% correct. That is what Arvind has promised the world, and that's where we're headed.
So not everyone may know who Arvind is. So obviously I do, but can you explain? And also, when did he show up?
Oh, Arvind's our CEO of IBM, and he came in after Jenny Rometty. So that was 2017, 2018. I can't remember exactly what year.
All right. So I know that the change, so this is a really interesting part of being a partner in the current IBM, right? We were not partners with IBM before this. And I actually don't think we ever would have been had Arvind not come in and change kind of the way IBM thinks about itself and the way IBM thinks about their partners and the ecosystem and AI. I mean, like the reaffirmed commitment to being a leader in technology. Also, I think the fact that IBM doubled down on greater governance around AI and how companies use it. That was a big reason why we wanted to partner with IBM. But I don't think any of that would have happened had it not been for Arvind and leadership, Rob Thomas and Dinesh and all of these, I think just incredible leadership. But none of that thing happens unless the two of you do what you do inside TDSynnex. And that's the part that I didn't appreciate until we decided to go with TDSynnex as RVAD. That changed my entire view of how things work. So do you believe that this 80% revenue coming from partners, do you believe that's a real thing?
Yeah, no, Angela, absolutely. If we didn't believe it was a real thing, we shouldn't be in the roles that we're in. Yeah. And I believe that to my core. And I'll echo what you said about Arvind. Just given his background, coming from research and product, and the emphasis that he's put on, the technical acuity of the IBM sales force and the investments that have been made in client engineering. And it's more than just org charts, right? Like we have skilled up and hired and deployed a robust client engineering organization that they're executing on a I feel like it's an evolved philosophy, right? Of show me first, prove out the value before the monetization. and I can see that, and I can feel it. And part of what Rusty and I do is to make sure that TDSynnex is an extension of IBM in that sense as we talk to our partners, right? So TDSynnex has invested in field sales architects as well, and they have a whole client engineering team, and they've developed assets that prove out the technology, right? So I feel like this is a much more evolved IBM. I've been here, like I said, I've been here in multiple roles. I've seen many parts of the company, but I do, getting our, and when Arvind said, hey, 40% to 80%, he was primarily talking about software. And by the way, it was 15% a couple of years ago. So
wow, I didn't know that.
So we are making progress. And one of the main ways that we're going to get to 80% is with 100,000 net new clients. I mean, that is a formalized initiative. Rob Thomas has gone public with it. And by definition, that's a partner play, right? So you can't do that alone. You need scale. You need a thriving ecosystem that can do that. And it's interesting. So you made a comment of, hey, would I have been a partner of IBM today, yesterday, but you are today. Like, we define partner as any firm that wants to go to market with our technology. Okay, so whether you're a reseller, right, whether you're a build ESA partner that you want to build your own solution on our technology, whether you just want to be a service partner and deploy the technology, or you're a GSI, right? We've got one program. I don't want this to sound like a commercial. It's going to sound very commercially. We have one program called Partner Plus today that is the single platform that does it all for all of our partners. So we believe, to our core, it's a huge opportunity. If you think about a client that's going to do business with IBM for the first time, typically that deal's $25,000 to $50,000, and then with the right nurturing, right, the right engineering support, the right partner involved, we expect that 25 to 50 to grow into 250K of lifetime value over the next 3 to 4 years. And we're doing that by focusing on our products and making sure that they are evolved to grow and to be able to prove out that value before the monetization. And we can go into much more detail on that as well.
Okay, so here's what I wanted to have you do, because we always make sure that we keep these in bite-sized morsels. I would really like for the two of you to come back and maybe come back for a couple of sessions with us. I want to dig in deeper to the 100,000 new logos, because that is a big undertaking, I think, even for IBM. So I want to dig into that a little bit more, because it has so much to do with partners. And then the other thing is, well, I'll leave it to y'all. What do y'all want to talk about?
Well, I tell you, Angela, just, hearing and getting to know you in This Way Global and the type of company you are and how innovative your company is being, and the noble nature of the mission of what you do, it'd be great to talk about your experience. Coming on board as an IBM partner, knowing that you don't fit the traditional mold in a good way.
Yeah, that's true. We don't. Yeah,
it would be amazing for us to talk through and understand some of the learnings there as well.
Okay, so you're going to turn the tables on me? Is that what I hear? That's a typical Mosley move. It's like, oh yeah, I know, I came on and agreed to be interviewed, but actually I'm going to interview you.
After the existential "why are we here" question to lead this off, I think.
All right, turnabout is fair play. Okay, so all right, I'm going to invite you back. Let's try to make that a priority. And we will have a lot more to share with everyone when they chime back in. So thank you so much for both of you coming, for being, I think this is the first time we've had anyone that's tied to TDSynnex on the podcast. So you're kind of forging new ground for us, but it's so appropriate because you've both been so helpful in the launch of our partnership. So we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.